Thank you very much, Honorable Minister and your able team, for the wonderful work that you are doing. At this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, like we always do, we'll take the questions and the minister and his team will provide the answers.
My name is Nanapuku from Daily Searchlight. I remember during the tenure of the late Gladys Asma, the government of the then President Kufuor said they were going to construct landing sites and fishing harbours in about 11 communities in the whole country, including ice plants, as you just mentioned. You have given us an update of Jamestown and out of Angolaga. Can you give us a comprehensive update of what is happening to the other sites that we are not hearing in the news? Whether you have abandoned or they are ongoing or whatever, what stages? We want to find out from you. And then last week you were here to give us an update of the close season. So you gave us the details, the meetings, the collaborations and things you have had with the other stakeholders. But soon after, I contacted the Ghana National Canoe Fishermen's Association, and they said that the dates are conflicting. According to them, you all agreed on 1st July this year, and not 15th May as you are telling us, and that you are going to do it across board, all fleets, and not that you are going to divide it into two. One session starting now, another going to start another time. So there seems to be some kind of conflict. And so I want to find out from you, between you and the Ghana National Canoe Fishermen's Council, who is telling the truth?
Okay, my name is Wolanyo Frank from Metro TV. Madam Minister, I want to find out from you if you're aware of any cold store project around the Gomuanyanyano area. It was completed, I think, in 2016. I don't know if that particular facility is being used. If it is not being used, what is the problem with that project? Thank you.
Thank you. My name is John Kesbin, TV Kumasi. Honorable, knowing the fishing deficit of Ghana, are you aware most of the Chinese partners who partner the Ghanaian in the trawl sector are on the verge of leaving the country? They are withdrawing because they feel that there are some draconian laws from your ministry which is making them not effective. My investigation also shows that 2 have left. And some of the hostile laws they are saying include payment of observers on vessel, paying subscription for VMS monitors, task force to inspect vessels before they are granted license, while members of the same task force allegedly are not or do not have any knowledge in the marine industry.
My name is Atamensa from Ghana News Agency. I want to add to one of my colleagues mentioned management of coastal and ice plant, how it is being managed, who are handling them, how is it contributing to the state in terms of funds and taxes. Then I want to tell us how the calculation was done. That's 36 million Ghana cedis that has been saved by preventing diversion of mixed fuel. How was the calculation done so that we know that by this and this we're able to save this amount? Then the issue of plastic waste. It is a global challenge. Recently I saw a documentary and how plastic waste had accumulated in marine life is very risky. I want to find out any strategic action that your outfit and then maybe Ministry of Science, Environment, all those things are doing to curb this phenomenon. Thank you.
Yes, we will do the other landing sites. Plans are far advanced. We have updated the designs of the landing sites for 14 landing sites, both inland and coastal. And we have also procured a consultant who did an environmental and social impact report, which was submitted to the EPA. EPA has also provided us with the necessary permits to construct these landing sites. Fortunately, the Ministry of Finance has acquired a Chinese facility under the Chinese Development Bank, a CDB loan, to construct these landing sites. And so plans are far advanced. The master agreement was signed last year, and this year the subsidiary agreement has been signed. So we are good to go. Now, I would have wished that the footages or the footage on the stakeholders meeting that was held on the 5th of February will be shown. I guess, unfortunately, we don't have that footage here. It was shown last week. Was it yeah, last week. Yes, it was, exactly. And we have some videos running on social media on the stakeholders meeting that was held on the 5th of February. Fishermen stood up and confirmed the 15th May to 15th June dates. We did not give them the dates. Unfortunately, it is sad to say that the president of the National Fisheries Association, Flight Lieutenant Taki, just passed on. We received an official communication signed by the president of the National Fisheries Association, which is made up of all the fisheries associations, the Ghana Canoe Fishermen Council, the National Fish Processors Association, the Ghana Industrial Trawlers Association, the Ghana Tuna Association, and various associations. We received some communication from them, giving us the dates. It wasn't just one letter, but we had about 2 or 3 letters from them stating clearly the dates. I understand that there's a small group of people within the Ghana Canoe Fishermen Council who seem to be perpetual trouble causes. I cannot bring myself to understand why, after several meetings, several consultations, and actually explaining to the fishermen that, or the associations, that the August period that we chose last year is when gravid fish spawn, when the production peaks. So that is the opportune time, or the appropriate time, that we wish to restore the declining stocks. And they came to us with their own date, stating that they would rather do it in the period where there's minimal production, which is May to June. And because we have gone through so much trying to get the artisanal sector to agree to do this close season, in fact, it is worth mentioning and also reminding all of us that the Marine Fisheries Management Plan was supposed to have been implemented from 2015 to 2019. We are in 2019, and yet all the close season for all fleets is yet to be implemented. So if the fishermen come to us with a May to June date at this time, then we have to start from somewhere. We have to start from somewhere. So for us to agree at a major stakeholders meeting on these dates, and for some small group of people to come back and say that, no, we have to go back and do it in July, August, I think it is not good enough. It cannot help us as a nation to forge ahead. We cannot allow very good management practices such as the close season to be played or toyed with. We have accepted their dates, and we expect that when the benefits are seen, when gradually the fishermen acknowledge that it is better to do it within the peak production period, then they will shift towards that date in subsequent years. We will not see significant improvements in the stocks just within one close season. It is a process. So as we keep doing it over the years, then the signs will be shown, the benefits will be seen for everybody to tell the story. So this is it. We agreed, and there are videos from last year when we had to delay the close season. We took time to meet with the fishermen, and all the meetings are recorded. All the meetings are recorded so that nobody would say that we didn't, the ministry did not do proper consultation with us. So all the meetings are recorded and could be provided to the media. The cold stores, it is, we have about 6 cold store facilities. It is not just in the Gomoa Nyanyano, we have in other fishing communities. Unfortunately, the contracts were awarded, the cold stores were awarded to some private people. It was agreed with the ministry during the time of the previous government that these cold stores will be paying some monies to the Fisheries Ministry. But unfortunately, it has never happened. And we met with them. They told us their challenges. One major challenge that they have is with energy, provision of energy, electricity. They said the cost of electricity erodes all their profits. And so we wrote to the Ministry of Energy to see if there's a possibility of trying to reduce the tariffs on those cold stores. But I must admit that these cold stores have not been well managed. They have not been well managed. So we wrote to the Attorney General. The Attorney General also wrote back to us that since they have already flouted the agreement, the companies that the cold stores were awarded to have already flouted the agreement, then we were given the rights to cancel those agreements so that we can save the state facilities. So gradually, the media will hear from us where we have gotten to with those coastal facilities. The Chinese partners withdrawing. In fact, the Ghana Industrial Trawlers Association, or the trawlers are private companies. They are operated privately. And the Ghanaians, have hire purchase agreements with the Chinese. And so the ministry only regulates what they do. But these hire purchase agreements are strictly between the Ghanaian companies and the Chinese companies. Ours as a ministry is to regulate the sector. And we cannot overlook the laws. We cannot just set aside the laws and allow them to do what they like. We are mandated to be regulating that sector. So we apply the laws. We apply the laws irrespective of personalities. So if the Chinese are moving out, we have no hand in that. We are just applying regulations. We are regulating the sector. That's all. The questioner also mentioned that the task force that inspect the vessels do not have any knowledge of the industry, and yet they are given that role to play. In fact, this task force is made up of staff of the Fisheries Commission and other people who support the staff of the Fisheries Commission, and they are trained. They are trained to know what to look out for. They have a checklist which they follow. When we came to office in 2017, I went round personally. I went into vessels, and you find the presence of, I'm sorry to say, but you find the presence of cockroaches, rats, vessels in very bad conditions. There's been times, I've been told that some vessels are so rusted that human beings fall into the sea when they step on the rusted vessel. It cuts open, and then human beings fall into the sea and they die. So we formed this task force to inspect the vessels based on the fisheries regulations. They developed a checklist, they were trained, and they go out there to inspect the vessels. And I must, testify. I must say that there's been significant improvement in the state of the trawlers, especially since this task force was formed. They've been, painting, renovating their vessels, and some crew members were sleeping in fishing nets. You cannot believe that. Some crew members were made to sleep in very bad conditions. But now we've been able to change all that and bring some improvements, or to sanitize that environment. And so this is what is actually going on. The monies that have been saved under the premix fuel, the premix budget is not with the Ministry of Fisheries. The premix budget is with the Ministry of Energy. It is not with us. We only facilitate the distribution of premix fuel. We only facilitate it between the thermal oil refinery and the fishermen. So we cannot actually say that by helping to save some money to premix, the Premix Fuel Secretariat has those monies sitting in their accounts. No, it is with the Ministry of Energy. Now with the plastic waste menace. Last year, I was accused of having mentioned that the fishermen, will be picking, some plastics. I never said that during the close season, fishermen should go out and pick plastics. No. What I actually said was that under the West Africa Regional Fisheries Program, some plastic pelleting machines have been procured, and that in their free time, when an individual decides to pick some of the plastic to that facility, that individual could generate some money and also, in a way, clean up the environment so that the plastic pelleting facility will be used to pelletize the plastics and recycle them for some uses. So this is really what the Fisheries Ministry is doing. Under the West Africa Regional Fisheries Program, we have procured some recycling facilities to recycle some plastics. And so this is the explanation. This is what we are doing to clean up the beaches.
My name is Samuel Opoku Brown, and I'm from Accra FM. Madam, please, my question is, we are much aware of the MPS port expansion, and we heard some complaints from some of the fishermen that they know that compensations have been paid and made, but as at now, they've not had their compensations yet. So they are agitating about their compensation. So I want to know about that, what has been done as far as that issue is concerned. And the second issue is, we are much aware last year there were issues about tilapia and poisonous and stuff like that. We want to know what the ministry is also doing about regulating and fighting against those fish, tilapia farming in Ghana as well. What the ministry is doing about that. Thank you very much.
My name is Al Hassan Membasir from Marhaba FM. I would like to know from the minister, she made mention of a disease name. What is her ministry doing to forestall or to make sure they get any solution to it? As far as her ministry is trying to boost number of fishes that we may get in the near future. Thank you.
My name is Melvin. Honorable, please, you made mention of the fact that you are looking to create some jobs in the fishery sector. I think if I got you right, you said 80,000 jobs. I want to know what sort of jobs these are going to be, and then how are they going to come about? And then two, last week I think you briefed us about the close season, and you made mention of the fact that you had the videos from the meetings. So I was wondering today that you were coming, you're just going to bring the videos along to show to us so that we know something.
My name is Kojo Yankson. I'm from Joy News. In 2017, Ghana became aware of some research that had been done by CSIR that indicated that if we didn't stop what we were doing about Galamsey, we would lose our source of water. Immediately, the president took action, set up a task force, and banned small-scale mining for a period of over a year. This was the emergency action he took to preserve our natural resources. In 2015, scientists told us that by 2020 we would lose our small pelagics, which make up 70% of our marine fish resources. This is the reason why we are having a closed season, to save over 70% of our marine resources, marine fish resources. But we are learning that even though the scientists told us that the best time to have a closed season is August, the fishermen have proposed that they want to have it in May. The problem is in May, the fish don't spawn as much as they do in August. In fact, the minister herself said that there is only minimal spawning in August. So my question is, if we are facing the extinction of our small pelagics, why are we having the fishermen suggest when they would like to have the closed season? Why are we not simply doing what the scientists say to save the fish for the fishermen's own benefit?
Kojo, you seem to know the fishery sector very well. Anyway, there must be somebody behind you. You seem to have very deep knowledge of the sector. Yes. MPS port expansion. This project is under the Ministry of Transport. It's not under my ministry. And I have no idea what compensations were given out. So that could be a question for the Ministry of Transport. The fish kills on the Volta Lake. We did not actually see any poisons. We employed some institutions to do laboratory tests for us. And they did the tests. There was the presence of Streptococcus agalactia 1A. Streptococcus agalactia 1A. We have also identified Streptococcus agalactia 1b. And we are also seeing some virus, some viruses, showing up. So we are engaging with some private laboratories, especially the Aquavet Solutions, to do a mass vaccination of our fish, especially on the Volta Lake. We are going to do a mass vaccination of the fish and apply some new technologies as well. There's something called some heat treatment that will be applied. So we will do, very soon the media will be told that the Ministry of Fisheries is doing a mass, we are doing mass vaccination of the fish on the Volta Lake to protect our food or our fish resource. So that's what we are doing to protect or to prevent the occurrence of these diseases on the Volta Lake. Last week, yes, we showed videos of the stakeholders meetings that we held, but not in this hall. We did that at the local government secretariat. Yeah, so we'll make provision, we'll provide that to the media very soon. We'll give that to you after the program. So you have at first hand what actually took place during the stakeholders meeting. And it is worth also mentioning that we had very important people in society attending that stakeholders meeting. The function was chaired by Nana Kwesiata II Dogwamahine. It was also attended by Nana Kobinan Ketia of Esikado, Nenyi Gate of Winneba. It was also attended by Togbi Sri, the Awomefia of Anglon, and the Tema Manche. Ne Ajay Krako was also there. A lot of chiefs and queens and queen mothers were present. Also, the Parliamentary Select Committee on Agric and Cocoa Affairs was present. The Metropolitan, Municipal, and District Chief Executives were all there in their numbers. And so we have very good attendance. The Marine Police was there, the Navy was there, the Fisheries Enforcement Unit was present, and all the Fishers Associations were present, especially the Ghana Canoe Fishermen Council. Yes, they were all present. So we did very good consultations with them, and we came up with those dates. So we'll give you the footages. Kojo's question. Yes. The best time, yes. Peak fish production takes place in August, August, September. Yes. So that would have been the best time. But you see, after science comes up with its research findings, we look at the socioeconomic factors. Before the implementation of any program, you see how it's going to impact on the people and how the people even feel about what you are doing. We were not able to start this program in 2015. We are in the last lap of the expected implementation period. So if the fishermen come to us and tell us that we want to do it, we reluctantly want to do it in May, June, we have to start somewhere. We cannot say that because science has brought us this research finding and the fishermen and the fish processors themselves have also given credence to this and actually presented us with evidence that, yes, in August, these things happen. Even the fish processors say, oh, the fish that we process in August is filled with fat. You know, when women become pregnant, we get fatty. So the fish that we smoke in August is fatty. It breaks and loses its beauty. And so we all acknowledge science and then practice has come together, and we know that in August there's high production of especially the pelagics. But we look at the social implications. Our festivals along the coast are celebrated. Most of the festivals are celebrated around July, August, September. And the fishermen hold dear their festivals. I am a Ga. I hold dear my homowo. So if fishermen are saying that we don't want anything to disrupt our festivals, then we have to take it seriously. So we have taken them seriously, and we have accepted the minimal production period for the close season for now. When they see the benefits coming, they themselves will voluntarily say, oh yes, we want to shift to the peak production period. And then we'll say, hallelujah, thank God. Yes. But now, we want very high levels of compliance, and we cannot make them angry. We have to. Yes, and also we have considered the fact that the industrial sector, the trawlers who harvests the fish, you know, I can say that at least one trawler harvests as much fish as, let's say, 20 canoes will harvest in just one harvest. In just one exploitation, the one trawler may harvest about the amount of fish that about 20 canoes will be exploiting. So, no, the trawlers are, no, I'm not talking about the species. I'm not talking about the species. I'm talking about the exploitation of the resource in itself, both pelagics and demersals. Yes. So they exploit heavier on the resource than the canoes. So if they have accepted to do their close season in August to September during the peak period of reproduction, then of course we will see some benefits accruing. So that is okay for the start. Then when we see the benefits gradually coming up, the artisanal sector will also join them in August, and the benefits will be enormous. Thank you very much.
We want to show appreciation to the media for your attendance upon this meeting. The Minister of State has given the report, and so the video will be made available. It is available. Anybody who is minded to grab a copy can always grab a copy. It actually is on YouTube, but our technical people will be on standby to help anybody who wants a copy of the video. The minister will not publish falsehood. This government will not publish falsehood, because we know that we have a vibrant media that will always interrogate these matters. So the facts are sacred. We thank you very much for coming.